Let's get one thing straight. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you is done settling. Done with excuses. Done with the small talk of potential. You want more. And guess what you should? You've heard it whispered in motivational videos, read it in passing on social media, quotes, maybe even felt it deep down. But let me say it louder and clearer than ever before. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your partner, not your boss, not the system, not the universe. That idea you've been clinging to, the one where someone eventually notices your pain, recognizes your potential, and offers you a golden lifeline, it's a lie. A sweet lie, yes, but still a lie. And the longer you wait for that rescue, the further you drift from the life you were meant to live. We grow up on stories, heroes, saviors, fairy tale turnarounds. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that if we just held on long enough, someone or something would arrive to fix everything. Maybe it would be the right job, the perfect relationship, or a life-changing opportunity. But here's the brutal truth. Opportunity doesn't knock. It waits to see if you're strong enough to kick the door down. Nobody is watching your life as closely as you are. Nobody is feeling your frustration like you do. And nobody is more responsible for changing it than you. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when life hasn't been fair, when you've been overlooked, underestimated, or betrayed. But hear me, your past is not your prison, unless you make it one. You may not have chosen your starting line, but you sure as hell can choose where you finish. Waiting for someone else to rewrite your story is a delay tactic, one that keeps you small. Because as long as you believe the hero is someone else, you never become your own. Taking full ownership of your life is terrifying. It means admitting that if you're not where you want to be, it's on you. It means letting go of blame and stepping into the fire of responsibility. And that fire? It burns at first, but it also forges strength. Radical ownership is where freedom begins. When you stop waiting to be rescued, you start realizing just how powerful you actually are. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. Look around. Look at the people who inspire you, the ones who've made it. Every single one of them made a decision, not just to dream, but to move. Not when it was convenient, not when it felt good, but when it was ugly, uncertain, and painful. That decision to take control, even in the middle of chaos, is what separates the talkers from the doers, the wishers from the warriors, the victims from the victors. Still think someone's going to show up and fix your life? Let me ask you this. Why would they? What makes your life their responsibility? This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. You're not powerless. You're just afraid to claim your power. Because power comes with pressure. Power demands action. It strips you of the right to make excuses. But once you taste it, once you realize you've always had it, you never go back. So stand up. Not someday, not when you feel ready. Now. Stop waiting for permission. Stop outsourcing your future to fate. The clock is ticking, and you are the only one who can flip the script. No one is coming to make you great. No one is coming to give you purpose, discipline, or drive. That's your job, your mission, your fight. And when you finally stop waiting and start showing up for yourself, fully, fiercely, unapologetically, that's the moment your life begins to change. Let's talk about the one thing most people defend like it's sacred. Comfort. That feeling of ease, familiarity, and predictability. It's cozy, it's quiet, and it feels safe. But here's what nobody told you. That safety? It's an illusion. Because behind the soft edges of your comfort zone is the one thing slowly suffocating your potential. Every time you choose the easy way out, every time you avoid the unknown, you're shrinking. Not just your world, but your worth. You weren't made for small living. And yet most people spend their entire lives decorating their cages instead of learning how to fly. Comfort is a drug. It seduces you with convenience. It tells you, you're fine here. You don't need to push. You don't need to risk. And before you know it, days become months, months become years, and the dreams you once felt burning in your chest, they turn to ashes, all because comfort whispered just loud enough to drown out the voice inside you that was begging for more. That voice, the one that tells you to leap, to speak up, to try, it's still there, but comfort is louder until you decide. It won't be. You think staying in your lane is smart, safe, practical? It's not. It's the most dangerous choice you can make. Because your comfort zone doesn't just keep out failure, it keeps out growth, power, and transformation. Everything you want is outside of it. Every version of you that's stronger, bolder, freer, it lives on the other side of discomfort. But to meet that version, you've got to be willing to leave behind who you've been. That's the real cost of growth, shedding the old skin, the old mindset, the old limits. And most people aren't willing to pay it. Growth doesn't come with guarantees. It doesn't come with a safety net or a step-by-step manual. That's why most people don't chase it. They'd rather stay where they are than risk becoming something more. But here's the truth. You cannot be who you were and who you are becoming at the same time. One has to die for the other to live. And yes, it's painful, it's messy, but it's also where the magic happens. That moment you walk into a room that intimidates you, that's where your confidence is born. That moment you say yes even when your voice shakes, that's where your power begins. The most successful people in the world, they're not fearless. They just stopped letting comfort make their decisions. They stopped waiting to feel ready and started acting even when they weren't. They learned to live with tension, with failure, with doubt, because they understood something you need to understand now. Comfort is temporary, but regret is permanent. You can be uncomfortable for a season, or you can be disappointed for a lifetime. But you can't have both ease and excellence. You've got to choose. Every excuse you make to stay in the same place sounds logical. I'll do it later. I need more time. What if I fail? But behind every excuse is fear in disguise. And the longer you entertain it, the stronger it gets. Fear feeds on hesitation. But courage? Courage feeds on action. You don't overcome your comfort zone by thinking about it. You overcome it by stepping past it. Over and over, until the unknown becomes familiar, until discomfort becomes your new baseline. That's how you level up, that's how you evolve. So stop calling it peace when it's actually passivity. Stop calling it just not the right time when what you really mean is, I'm scared. Own it, face it, because that fear, that discomfort, that's the compass pointing you exactly where you need to go. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It's the silent killer of dreams, of purpose, of greatness. And if you don't break out of it now, it will become your tomb. Not a physical one, but a spiritual one. One where your fire dies long before your body ever does pain. The word alone makes people flinch. We're taught to avoid it, numb it, run from it. But what if I told you that pain isn't the villain you've been taught to fear? Pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher, your sculptor, your call to rise. It's not the pain itself that destroys us. It's what we choose to do or not do with it. The real tragedy isn't the heartbreak, the loss, the betrayal, the failure. The real tragedy is when we survive it and walk away empty, because that pain, that was power. Unrefined, untapped, waiting to become your fuel. Everyone has a story. Yours might be messy, complicated, unfair. Maybe you've been broken in ways no one can see. Maybe you cry behind closed doors, pretend you're fine when you're unraveling inside. But hear me, you didn't walk through hell just to stay silent about the fire. That pain came with a price. It cost you sleep, sanity, maybe even your sense of self. So don't you dare let it go to waste. Don't you dare let it break you and not also build you. If you're going to carry it, make sure it carries you somewhere too. Pain is a spotlight. It shines directly on what needs to be healed, strengthened, released. But most people don't want to look. They bury it, mask it with distractions, drown it in noise. They think ignoring pain will make it disappear. It doesn't. Pain doesn't vanish. It compounds. It festers. It becomes bitterness, procrastination, insecurity, and that's when it starts running your life from the shadows. You want to take back control? Then stop running. Sit with the pain. Let it teach you what comfort never could. Because pain tells the truth, and the truth is where your power lives. The strongest people you know didn't get there by avoiding pain. They got there by walking straight through it and refusing to leave empty-handed. Pain shows you who you really are. When everything is stripped away, when life punches you in the gut, and you're left with nothing but your breath, you meet your real self. No filters, no masks, just raw, gritty truth. And from that place, you rebuild. Not the same, stronger, smarter, sharper, unshakable. But only if you choose to let the pain do its job. Every setback, every heartbreak, every dark night of the soul, it all carries a message, a lesson, a gift. But you've got to dig for it. You've got to stop asking why me and start asking what now. Because pain without purpose is suffering. But pain with purpose, that's transformation. That's how you become someone who doesn't just survive life. You shape it, you bend it, you rise above it. Not because it's easy, but because you're done letting your wounds define you. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not weak because you hurt. You are human. But pain is the threshold, the doorway, and what you choose on the other side of it determines everything. Will you let it harden you, make you small, bitter, silent, or will you let it forge a new version of you, wiser, deeper, more awake than ever before? You don't get to skip the pain, but you do get to choose who you become because of it. That's your power. That's your privilege. So if you've been through pain, and I mean real pain, the kind that shakes your soul, then know this: you're not behind. You're not lost. You're not ruined. In the middle of becoming something rare, let that pain fuel the fire inside you. Let it sharpen your vision, deepen your hunger, amplify your voice, because pain is part of the price for purpose. And if you're going to pay that price, make damn sure you collect the reward. We live in a world obsessed with self-love. Everywhere you look, you're told to be kind to yourself, treat yourself, give yourself grace. And yes, compassion matters, but let's not get it twisted. Real self-love is not indulgence. Real self-love is discipline. It's making the hard decisions. It's saying no when everything in you wants to say yes. It's doing the thing you don't feel like doing because your future deserves better than your current mood. You think self-love is skipping the workout when you're tired? Or eating whatever you want because you had a hard day? No, that's comfort, that's emotional escape. Self-love is getting your ass to the gym when every part of you wants to stay in bed. It's choosing broccoli over donuts when you know your energy and health are slipping. It's going to bed early instead of numbing out with another episode, another scroll, another hit of distraction. Because here's the truth: if it feels good in the moment but wrecks your future, it's not love. It's sabotage. Discipline is the highest form of respect you can show yourself. It says, I care enough about my life not to waste it. That kind of self-love doesn't always feel good in the short term, but in the long run, it builds everything. Confidence, focus, strength, legacy. It's waking up early because your goals don't care if you're tired. It's finishing the project because your word matters. It's staying consistent even when no one is watching because you are watching. And that has to be enough. You think motivation is what drives success? It's not. Motivation is a mood, it comes and goes. Discipline is a decision. It's who you become when the hype dies down and it's just you versus the work. And yes, discipline is hard, but you know what's harder? Regret. Standing in the same spot 5 years from now, wishing you had started, wishing you had kept going, wishing you had valued your potential more than your comfort. Regret is a pain that never goes away. Discipline, that's pain with a purpose. People mistake discipline for punishment, but it's the exact opposite. It's protection. It guards your time, your energy, your focus from being wasted on things that don't matter. When you're disciplined, you stop chasing dopamine and start chasing destiny. You stop letting your feelings dictate your actions and start letting your vision lead the way. And when you live like that, when your actions match your ambition, you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. Think about the people you admire, the ones who built something real. Do you honestly think they got there by doing what they felt like doing every day? No. They got there by showing up over and over, especially when it sucked, especially when it was lonely, especially when the excuses got loud. That's not luck, that's not genetics, that's discipline. And it's not some rare trait you either have or don't. It's a muscle. You build it, you train it. And the more you use it, the more natural it becomes. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop calling procrastination self-care. Stop pretending that staying small is some noble act of peace. Discipline is not just about goals, it's about identity. Who are you becoming with the choices you make every day? Are you acting like the person you say you want to be, or are you selling yourself short in the name of convenience? If you really loved yourself, deeply, truly, radically, you wouldn't keep breaking promises to your future. You'd honor your potential with action. You'd love yourself with structure. And you'd understand once and for all that discipline is the most powerful form of self-respect there is. So here it is. Raw, unfiltered, undeniable. You want a breakthrough? Earn it. You want confidence? Build it. You want to feel proud of the person staring back at you in the mirror? Then stop negotiating with your lesser self. Stop feeding your doubts. Stop romanticizing ease. Because nothing worth having comes from staying comfortable, blaming others, or waiting for the stars to align. This life, it's yours. No backup plan, no second draft. You either step up and claim it, or you shrink and settle, and I promise you, comfort will never give you the life your soul is hungry for. But courage will, discipline will. So don't ask for motivation, create it. Don't wait for signs, become one. You are not made to blend in. You are made to break the mold, rewrite the story, and set your own damn standard. Because if this doesn't light a fire in you, nothing will.